Arresting the president or the former president is not the quintessential and non-delegable power of the president, di ba? Yun ang maliwanag sa Senate versus Ermita. Wala namang information that's not available elsewhere. Kasi pinag-usapan na ni General Torre na nautusan siya ni Chief PNP. So, ano yung problema sa executive privilege dito? Hindi naman kayo military o diplomatic corps, hindi naman diplomatic communications to ng Pilipinas at ICC. Wala naman kaming tinatanong sa ganon. Bakit hindi masagot yan? Maliwarag naman po yung Supreme Court at may limitasyon naman yung executive privilege. Tinatanong lang sino nag-utos pa. Kasi nandun ka mula pa sa eroplano hanggang sa The Hague, 2 days after pa. Pwede niyong sagutin yung tinatanong ni Ambassador Delgra. Alam mo naman hindi mo kailangan ng certification, di ka naman kinakailangan mag-antay pa
Nung tinurn over ko po, yung certification, may communication na po kami. Yung certification, yun nga lang ho, nagkakaroon ho ng delay na ma-receive ko.
Certification ang pinag-uusapan mo.
Opo,
Yung pinirmahan mo, Competent National Judicial Authority. Hindi nga dinala sa husgadong Pilipino Alam mo naman yun Kasama ka all along Oversee nga ang ginagawa mo. Di alam mo lahat.
Madam Chair, may I follow up with that?
Senator Bato.
Follow up on that question.
Salamat, nagtitiisan tayo. Si Asik Miko Clavano, sinabi nung March 13, ang naging role namin ay National Competent Judicial Authority to attest na lahat ng proper processes ay ginawa. Paano naman nangyari yun?
That's a certification that we made, which was acceptable to the ICC, because under their system, the prosecutor general is part of the court, or the main
Part of the
prosecutor.
ICC, but
the
it's
ICC
hardly
court.
a Filipino court. It's hardly a national court, Secretary.
It's an equivalent to them. For them, it's equivalent. That's why they accepted. If they accepted the turnover of the
Equivalent is not
president,
the same po.
it's not the same. But it was acceptable to them because that's how their system works.
Okay, let's now delve deeper into the circumstances surrounding the arrest. I give up by falsehood upon falsehood. General Torre, when were you assigned as the head of the CIDG? Dahil naalala ko, inaresto po ninyo si Pastor Kibuloy, August 24, tapos na-promote kayo. Pero by the way, congratulations, na-promote pala kayo. Wala pang isang buwan, na-promote kayo ulit. At napunta kayo sa CIDG 2024, di po ba? Isang buwan after the Kibuloy arrest. Tama po ba?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were assigned to the CIDG specifically. What would you say are the main mandates of the CIDG? Anong mission nito?
We're the lead investigating unit of the PNP on matters delving on major crimes and those involving economic sabotage and other sensational cases that may be assigned by the Chief of the Philippine National Police.
So to reiterate, it's monitoring, investigation, and prosecution of all crimes related to economic sabotage and other crimes of such magnitude to the extent that they're commissioned by highly placed or professional criminal syndicates are involved. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, ma'am.
That is your mission. in
That's the
fact.
general mission, ma'am.
Yes. And part of the CID mission as well is to investigate major violations of the revised penal code, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the CIDG is largely the elite investigation arm of the PNP, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, tama?
Yes, ma'am.
Kung ganon, yung pag-aaresto ng high-profile persons katulad ni PRRD, kasama sa core function ninyo, investigasyon pa rin ba yun?
Implementation of warrants is part of the CIDG's mandate, ma'am.
Yes, but it's the after effect. It's not the core function. Bakit kayo naging lead? Kitang-kita naman, nung March 11, not only was the CIDG involved in the arrest, kayo pa rin yung lead sa operation.
Yes,
We can clearly see na kayo ang pinakamataas. You were the highest ranking member of the PNP in many of the videos.
I was directed by the Chief of the Philippine National Police, ma'am.
Yes, perhaps our Chief PNP can explain bakit yung CIDG ang naging lead. Samantalang investigasyon ang dapat mission nila.
Ma'am, I just want to, yun sa background po natin, yun sa PNP po, ang Interpol, PCTC have to, ang dalawa lang po ipinapadala niya, no? Pagka dun sa PNP po, ang main task po namin, pagka PCTC, CIDG, ang sa NBI naman, NBI Interpol. So usually, pagka may request po ang PCTC, ang pinaka-diretso po namin is CIDG, not any other unit when it comes to arrest po.
Pero you had the choice, ano?
Madam Chair.
Hindi naman lagi si IDG nag-aaresto nitong mga high-profile personalities. Wala naman akong nakikitang si IDG sa TV pag nakikita yung iba't ibang krimen. Hindi naman lagi sila eh.
Ma'am, when it comes to the request of the PCTC, ang tasking po is always sa CIDG po. Yun po yung ano natin sa
Ang
PCTC.
binanggit ni Executive Director ay yung NBI. Wala siyang binanggit na si IDG.
Ma'am, when it comes to the PNP, ang PNP po, ang automatic po namin, it's from me, I always task the CIDG po when it comes to Interpol matters po.
So it's in fact your choice. General Torre is a trusted and competent general, and that's the reason you chose him.
No, ma'am, that's for me, it's always the CIDG when it comes to yung mga national po ng, ano po, ng huli po.
Yes, Senator Bato, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. General Marbel, kung si General Torre ang pinapa-operate mo doon, ibig bang sabihin na lahat ng actions niya, lahat ng ginawa niya ay sanction mo?
Opo, it's under po ng Philippine National Police po yan.
So lahat ng ginawa niya, sagot mo?
Yes, sir, opo.
Thank you. That's the PNP that I would like to believe. Whatever your people does or fail to do, sagot mo. Diba?
Just want to clarify, no? Ang sinasabi po natin, all legal po. Ang sinasabi lang, we're just assisting po yung PCTC. That's reasonable po na ang request po is coming from
I'm
PCTC
not
po.
referring to PCTC anymore. Yung sa kabuuhan ng operation.
Dito po sa Philippine National Police, lahat po ng action ng Philippine National under po sa atin, it's all legal po. When it comes to illegal, meron naman po kami mga ginagawa po dyan.
Hindi,
Just,
hindi ko na sinabi illegal. Ang akin lang, basta yung ginawa ng tao mo, sagot mo. Dahil ikaw si PNP, di ba? Dapat ganun. Yan man talagang kwan natin, trabaho natin. Sagot ko kayo lahat dahil you are carrying out my orders.
yes, sir. Tama po yan. Kasi ang mandate po ng CID is really to effect po yung mga warrants of arrest po.
Okay, just for the record. Just for the record, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Yes, maraming salamat. Palibhasa inassign nga ni Chief PNP si General Torre bilang lead ng pag-aaresto kay former President. Masasabi ba natin na yung aresto ni PRRD ay CIDG operation?
It's a PCTC operation, ma'am, requested to the Philippine National Police.
Pero kayo ang lead. So ikaw ang masasabi natin. Kitang-kita naman doon sa video, kayo nagmamando, sangkatutak yung pulis, pero kayo yung pinakamatasang rango. Pagkatapos, talagang CIDG operation ng labas. Tama ba yun?
Sa level, ma'am, ng implementation ng orders, pagbigay ng mission, that is led by me, supported by the other units of the Philippine National Police, as directed by the Chief of the Philippine National Police,
That's
ma'am.
right, but I did not see any other higher-ranking generals than you. You were the only one there. You were clearly the one leading the pack and determining what would happen next. CIDG, ano? Kasi sinabi nga dito sa interview na pinanood natin na alam na ninyo na meron kayong papel sa pag-aaresto. Masasabi ba ninyo na well-planned itong arrest? Kasi it was planned weeks in advance. May nakita tayo dito na naabutan na ninyo, matagal ng plano yan. Pwede ba nating paliwanag itong statement po ninyo, anticipation? Kasi yan ang actually pagdating ko, may plano na. Anticipation ng warrant. Sabi ninyo pagdating nyo. So dumating kayo mga bandang September, meron na yan.
Ma'am, maraming salamat talaga sa tanong na yan. For me to clarify that statement na natitwist na sa social media. That interview is made from the context of the chief of the CIDG. Isang part lamang ng PNP, maliit lang akong parte ng PNP, na may sariling mandato. Kaya tumatakbo sa akin, ma'am, yung crisis, palaging tumatakbo dyan bilang operations officer, bilang commander, yung 4Ps of contingency planning. Predict, prevent, prepare, perform. Palaging may plano. Dahil nagbabasa ako ng dyaryo, ito may possibility na lalabas ang mga to. So, naghahanda ako na pag inutusan ako ng Chief PNP, hindi ako magsimula sa zero. So, it's not about anything, about sinister or anything, but it's just part of my job to plan for it. So, ano ang mga dapat pag may lumabas sa may mga wanted person, in-anticipate natin lalabas ang warrant.
So hindi pa dumarating yung diffusion notice noong March 11, may plano ka na.
Hindi ko po dinidinayan, ma'am. Part ng aking trabaho ang mag-prepare ng contingencies.
Tama,
para pag
hindi naman
nautusan
kita
ako, naka-ready
binibintang.
po yan, ma'am.
Meron kang interview, sinabi nga na January 2025, nagkumpuni ka na ng secret 80-page plan na ang tawag Operation Pursuit ng New York Times. Ang pagkaintindi natin, Oplan Tugis. Tama ba yun?
Wala po akong sinabing ganyan, ma'am. Kung sino man ang source niyan, I'm not very sure about it.
Lumabas sa lahat ng media, sa GMA, pati New York Times sinabi.
Pwede po nating makita, ma'am, kung
Hindi
if
ko
possible.
alam. Yan lang ang nabasa ko, katulad ng marami. Operation Pursuit, tapos translate Oplan Tugis.
Okay, may pangalan ho ba ako na
Napakakabandal
naging source, ma'am, kung pwede ko makita? Kasi until this point, gusto ko rin po, ma'am, maraming salamat sa pag-clarify nito. Gusto ko sana makita, ma'am, yung
Ang
pangalan ko
sinabi,
talaga.
ang PNP, ang nagplano na ng isang Oplan Tugis.
I'm
na
just one of the-
Napakahaba ng
Yun lang, ma'am. I'm just one of the 220, unfortunately, I'm just one of the 220,000 policemen of the PNP right now. Kung sinong source nila, gusto ko sana nga makita, ma'am, na ang pangalan ko talaga is nandyan, na sinabi ko yan. Kasi na-attribute sa akin yan, ma'am, eh. Kaya I'm really thankful
Yeah,
at this
ma'am.
opportunity to clear that
Yes, Senator
part
Bato.
ng news.
Andyan,
How about that Chief PNP? Hindi kayo source niyan?
Yeah, sabi kasi si PNP Chief Marbil, inutusan si General Torre na ilalagay si Presidente Duterte under police custody as soon as the ICC issues the arrest warrant.
Ma'am, wala po kaming ganyan at hindi ko po nakita yung Oplan Tugis na sinasabi nyo ngayon.
So ibig sabihin yung New York Times, lahat ng local media, sinungaling. Okay lang, I mean sabihin lang natin alin yung totoo, alin hindi, para maliwanagan kami.
Madam Chair, mas naniniwala ako sa kanila pag sinabi nila yan kaysa dyan sa mga lumalabas na balita. Kapag sinabi nila na hindi silang source, naniniwala ako.
Okay, paniwalaan natin. Tama naman, dapat paniwalaan ng kapulisan. Meron ba kayong memorandum, document, outline tungkol dito sa aresto ng March 10 or March 11? Bago pa dumating yung warrant, meron na ba kayong plano? Kasi sabi nga ninyo, General Torre, lagi kayong naghahanda for any eventuality. Crisis management nga naman.
For the specific, yung March 11, ma'am, wala talagang pre-planned na sinasabing itong specific. Kaya on the fly ngayon, ma'am, na ginawa, ma'am. So everything that was done there, based on the contingencies, meron tayong mga, may situation analysis, may...
Pero sinabi rin ninyo, matagal ng plano yan.
Yes, ma'am.
Naabutan ko na yan. Pagdating ko, meron na yan. Anticipation na kami.
Actually, ma'am, ang pinaka-mother of plan yan, ma'am, baka kasi yung pursuit na yan, hindi tugi sa pinagsimulan, baka manhunt. Kaya pursuit, baka yung manhunt Charlie natin, na mayroong ganyan ang PNP.
Hindi
The accounting of wanted persons.
Hindi po, General Torre, kasi may PNP memos for deployment. Pinirmahan ni Chief PNP Marbil, March 10 pa lang. Wala pang arrest warrant, magde-deploy na tayo ng kapulisan sa NCR at pati na rin sa Davao. Di ba? May memo tayo, pinakita natin nung first hearing. Yes, Chief Marbil, please.
Ma'am, that's a regular deployment po yung pinapadala po natin. Yun po yung ano natin.
Bakit kayo nagde-deploy? Wala pang warrant?
that's already part of the contingencies. Kasi hindi naman natin madi-deny na napaka-high profile ni PRRD. Ito na nga, may preparation na may probability na lalabas itong order na to. On my part, lalabas ang
Pero
order na to.
sabi, nung unang hearing ni Secretary John Vic, na chismis lang naman, magde-deploy ka sa chismis lamang?
There's really no harm in erring on the side of caution, ma'am. Palaging ganyan. Prevent after the prediction. We prevent whatever. Kaya palaging predict yan ang scanning the operational environment, threat assessments,
So wala
preparation,
talagang
IPB.
plano. Pero sinabi mo, matagal ng plano yan. Alin ba talaga?
The contingencies are there, ma'am. Hindi na sinasabing wala talaga kaming alam at wala kaming pinaghahandaan. May contingencies tayo, ma'am. So it's always there.
So you're
part of the
saying that
PNP.
it was just general contingency planning,
Yes, ma'am.
no specific incident was anticipated? Although, sinabi rin ninyo, anticipation ko na yan.
Pagdating nung mga...
Anticipation ng warrant ng ICC. That's very specific po.
Ma'am-
Hindi siya generic contingency planning.
Opo. Part na ho ng aking trabaho na ma'am yan, nakita ko na, sabi ko, nako, paano pag nautusan ako bigla, lumabas ang warrant at i-implement ito. Nasa Hong Kong ang ating subject. So, that's all part of the anticipation already and the
So in
contingency
fact, there
planning.
was a plan.
Ma'am?
So in fact, there was a plan.
There was a-
Kasi nag-anticipate na kayo na
Ina-adjust na
magkakaroon
lang-
ng warrant.
Ina-adjust natin ang contingencies, ma'am. Ina-adjust ko ang contingencies so that pagdating ng specific na order
Kayo
sa
lang ang
akin,
nagplano mag-isa sa buong PNP?
I'm the head of the CIDG, ma'am. I have,
Pero kayo lang ang nagplano
I have
ng
2,000
operation?
people. I have 2,000 people under me.
Sir. I understand, General. And we respect the CIDG for its outstanding track record. Kaya lang, tinatanong ko lang, kasi sinabi ninyo na iba-ibang grupo ang nagkumpune ng task force o kung ano man ang tawag doon, na iba-ibang bahagi ng PNP, hindi lang naman CIDG, kasi ayaw ninyong tawagin na CIDG operation. Sino-sino pa ang kasama sa planning dito sa anticipation ng ICC warrant?
Thank you very much for the praises to the CIDG, ma'am, first and foremost. Ako rin, ma'am, ang naglabas ng mga request na ito po ang mga components na kailangan, ang mga makakailangan ko at
Sino-sino
ma-engage
po?
just in case na ito ay it will come down. So if you have seen, meron doon mga Special Action Force, kasi nga, ni-request ko ang mga yon. I requested them through the Chief PNP. Sir, I need Special Action Force. I also need the NCRPO to stand by on alert na ang kanilang mga civil disturbance management ay mag-ready rin just in case na magkaroon ng mga rally, magkaroon ng mga mass movements, ready rin kami
So kahit papano, hindi totoo na walang plano kasi may anticipation ka na eh. At saka
Definitely, ma'am.
nananawagan ka na sa iba't
Definitely.
ibang tropa.
Definitely, we are denying that plan from the context of being sinister and really plotting against the former president. It's not like that. We are just making sure that the PNP will be up to its mandate of protecting the peace and order and the well-being of the citizens, even though this an event as controversial as this goes down.
So Chief Marbil, tama ba inauthorize ninyo na tawagan yung iba't ibang pangkat ng PNP si General Torre? Siya nang namahala ng lahat.
Ma'am, ako po ang in charge po ng Philippine National Police. I just ordered General Torre to prepare. Yun po yung contingency natin. Kasi we heard from the news coming from the former president that there will be an ICC. That's
Pero
coming-
iba-iba na yung mga grupo na tinatawagan niya, hindi na si IGG lang.
That's ma'am, dun sa atin sa ano natin, meron po yung power ng CIDG that's really to help from other units po. Okay naman po sa Philippine National Police po yan.
Okay, eto naman tayo sa mga nangyari doon sa Villamor na, no, sa 250th. Ano na ang nangyari doon? Gusto lang natin malaman at itatanong kung anong nangyari dahil nandito na tayo, no? Umabot na tayo sa Villamor. Was there a time na may binantaan ka o tinakot o pinagsabihan kung sino man doon? To your mind, General Torre, you are empowered by law to release an arrested person without any order of any court. You're given the authority to arrest the person, release him kung gusto mo. Basta ikaw ang magdidiskarte. Ganun lang yon. Wala kang pakialam sa batas, sa revised penal code, sa lahat ng pinagbabawal. Ganun ba yun?
That's not the context that I made those decisions, ma'am. That's
Sasabi
not
lang
in those contexts.
saan ka naman nakakita, inaresto mo yung tao, tapos isasakay mo, papuntang Hague. Anong klase yun? Nandito pa ba si Attorney Delgra? Sa online?
I'm here.
Andito pa pala si Attorney Delgra. Sige, tatanong ko lang, kasi nakita namin yung video, pakita lang yung video, kung saan kinakaladkad si Attorney Delgra ni General Torre. General Torre, gumamit ka ba ng dahas laban sa sinuman na nandun sa Villamor? Kasi nakita namin nagkakaladkad ka eh.
Ayun, kanina pa eh. Hindi naman dapat, ilan ang hinuli ngayong araw na ito, sir? Sa iba-ibang mga krimen. Ilan ang binigyan ng ganitong... Kasi nandito kayo lahat eh. Nag-iisang tao. Ilan ang binigyan ng ganitong tao. Dami krimen sa labas. Nandito kayo eh.
Sir, hindi kami humingi ng floor. Just invoke Article 59. Bakit hindi yan magawa-gawa? That's precisely the point that I'm saying.
Ano siya naman? Pero, street na, bawal hawakan.
Ano yung hindi naman
Bawal hawakan! Bawal hawakan. Pwede ko na lang. Bawal
The right to counsel is something that has to be observed and respected.
Listen.
Kasi nga,
lawyer.
Huwag mo tayo
mag-stop kami.
Lawyer, pag hawakan.
Usap pa kami.
Wag mo hawakan. Wag mo.
Total.
Attorney, please go on.
Hawakan. Wag mo. Time lang.
Kayo mga
Wag mo.
General Torre, anong masasabi ninyo dito? Hindi ba yung pagtanggal ng upuan at pagkaladkad, paggagamit ng dahas? Si
Ma'am,
Attorney Delgra ba, tinakot ka ba? Nagbanta ba sa'yo o sa fellow officers mo? Physically, he was hindering you na naman from bringing PRRD to the plane. Bakit ninyo ginawa yan?
Ma'am, thank you very much for again showing that video for us, for giving us a chance to clarify the context of that video. Yan nga ma'am, kitang-kita naman natin kung hindi natin ginawa yon. Sasama ba ng kusa si President Duterte na sasakay sa eroplano? Kung hindi natin i-escalate ang ating
Ang
mga...
sinasabi niyo, General Torre, gawain at tamang gawain ng kapulisan ang magbanta, kaladkarin at gumamit ng dahas sa sino mang iaarestuhin nila?
Ma'am, may time na nga ina-arresto natin, tinututukan pa natin ng baril eh. So, that is
Eto,
in the force continuum.
kaya okay to.
Ibig sabihin, ma'am, presence lang natin, kausapin lang natin, that's the first step, okay yan. Hindi nag-comply, lalabas tayo ng non-lethal weapon. Hindi pa rin nag-comply, we escalate on the other tactics that is deemed necessary and allowed by law na gamitin
Allowed by
natin.
law? Sigurado ka ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Talaga?
That is part allowed by law and by regulations, the appropriate measures to ensure that the person is taken into physical custody.
Teka muna, hindi mo
Reasonable
naman
necessity, ma'am.
inaaresto si Attorney Delgra. Ano ba yung sinasabi mo?
Ma'am,
Hindi naman si Attorney Delgra inaaresto eh.
inaalis ko siya actually, ma'am.
Bakit si Delgra pinag-iinitan mo at pinagbuhatan ng kamay, kinaladkad? Kung sa website, sinabi ninyo na it does not apply, tuloy-tuloy pa rin kayo at binaliwala ninyo yung pakiusap niya, yung Article 59.
Ma'am, I always refer the legal issues to the DOJ.
No, nandun ka na eh. Andun na si Attorney Delgra, nakikisuyo na yung Article 59 will apply. Ibig sabihin, magkaroon ng counsel, dalhin sa korte na Pilipino, at yung iba pang mga patakaran na nakasaad dun sa Article 59. Sinasabi na nga nung abogado, sinabi pati ng DOJ ngayon, bakit binaliwala mo?
That is something that I cannot decide on at that time, ma'am, and the DOJ is there. I refer everything to them. I defer to their legal opinion, and the order has not changed. The order is still bring the president to the plane that will bring him to The Hague.
So yung Article 59, hindi ninyo alam yon. Sa madaling sabi.
I know that it is a legal question, ma'am. That's why I refer it to the DOJ. That's something that I will not decide upon.
I don't see you referring to anyone. Nakita ko talagang sabi nga ninyo, diskarte na ninyo yon kasi nandun ka, ikaw yung lead officer. Eh di dapat desisyonan mo na. Eh wala ka namang sinasabi doon na talagang i-refer mo na natin sa DOJ. Hindi ka naman huminto ng ganon. Basta tuloy-tuloy ka lang. Parang binaliwala mo nga yung sabing Article 59. Bakit ganon?
There's no change in order at that time, ma'am. So the mission is still the same. Bring the president to The Hague through
Madam
that
Chair.
plane.
Yes, Senator Bato, please. Ano talaga yung totoong rason at wala nang iba? Eh di sana sinabi nyo nung unang pagdinig, malinaw naman na lahat ng simula noong unang pagdinig hanggang ngayon, pilit ninyong iniiwasan, sumagot ng totoo. Balikan na lang natin si General Torre. General Torre, ano ba talaga yung dahilan kung bakit nagmamadali? Sinabi mo na hindi naman...
Madam Chair, you have ruled already the citing contempt. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, if
Yes,
you may...
the ambassador is cited in contempt. I'm sorry. Yes, General Torre, please, we'd like you to be a little bit more forthright and straightforward. What was the real reason for the rush? You yourself said this was an arrest with a warrant. Therefore, no reglementary period as articulated by Article 125 applies. Bakit kayo nagmamadali? Eto nga, may sakit yung tao.
And following the leads and working with the law enforcement authorities to try and come up with the possibility of reviving these old or cold cases. So yun po yung department order na nag-create noon at binigyan po sila ng 6 na pong araw base dun sa unang department order na nilabas para mag-submit ng kanilang initial findings.
Dumating dito yung ICC October, biglang-bigla, November 4, nagkaroon kayo ng task force. Ang ICC ba ay humingi ng tulong sa DOJ?
Wala po, categorically I will say, Madam Chair, na wala pong lumapit na taga-ICC sa amin, sa Department of Justice, para humingi ng tulong patungkol dito sa mga investigasyon
At
na
hindi
ginagawa
naman kayo
namin.
nag-volunteer na tulungan yung mga ICC na
Wala
narito?
po kaming maibo-volunteer kasi hindi naman po namin alam kung sinong kakausapin at wala po nakipag-ugnayan sa amin.
Kasi may ibang nagsasabi that the task force was supposed to pick up where the ICC could possibly have left off. Tama ba yun?
Hindi po. Ang sinundan po ng task force dyan, ay tulad po ng binanggit ko kanina, ay yung mga resulta ng investigasyon at impormasyon na nakuha at nakalap ng ating Quadcom Committee. So katulad po nun, halimbawa yung kaso ni Barayuga, so sinundan po yon base doon sa testimony nila Garma, and then meron pa hong tiningnan na ibang leads doon at doon po sila nagsimula magtanong at kumausap ng mga testigo on their own. Wala po silang coordination with the ICC.
So, ang coordination lang ninyo, katulad ng binanggit ni Secretary Remulla kanina, yung Quadcom, yung Senate, yung binabanggit sa 778, yung CHR, at yung iba pang PNP, Witness Protection, yung iba pang ahensya ng ating pamahalaan. Tama po ba?
Tama po yan, Madam Chair.
So, sa panahong to, meron ng 3 separate bodies trying to pin down PRRD. May Quadcom, may ICC, may DOJ Task Force, may ika-4 pa, yung Senate. So, 4 na sila.
Yung DOJ task force ho was really to check on EJ case. Period. Wala ho kaming aim of pinning down PRRD. Wala ho yan. Hindi ho totoo yan.
Pero EJK ang tinutumbok, kaya siya nagtestigo sa Quadcom, di po
Opo,
ba?
opo. Kasi, ma'am, karapatan po ng bawat Pilipinong maghanap ng hustisya eh. Kahit mahirap sila, kahit wala silang station in life, pag sila ho ay naapi, naghahanap po ng hustisya. Kaya
Siyempre.
kung meron ho silang nilapitan na taong nakakausap namin, syempre pinakikinggan po namin. At yung mga tao mismo na nangangailangan ng tulong, sinisikap po naming tulungan.
Siyempre, hindi natin pinagkakait ang karapatan ng bawat isa. Naakusahan ng krimen, suspected, tapos tiniturn over sa foreign jurisdiction. Paano nangyayari yun?
Ma'am, yung mechanisms po ng host country will come into play. The host
Depende sa bansa. Yusek De Vega seems to be raising his
Sige
hand po.
po.
Quickly, Madam, because they're in a foreign country, they're under the jurisdiction of the host authorities. So if they commit a crime abroad, it will be the host authorities who will arrest them or prosecute them. And as Secretary Kakdak was saying, then we have our rules to give them due assistance, whether it's a lawyer, of course, jail visits. And so it's very regular. It's been
So
done for
tutulungan
many
pa rin
years.
natin at bibigyan ng abogado.
Opo.
So kasi natatakot sila dahil hindi nga pinapasok si VP Sara. Natatakot ngayon yung mga OFW natin paano sila kukuha ng abogado, hindi pala pinapayagan miski dating pangulo.
Well, Madam, just to give it a good example, there were people rallying for President Duterte in
Nakulong.
Qatar, and we got them out.
That's right.
So,
So, what safeguards are there to ensure that our OFWs, their rights to due process, which weren't recognized apparently, and their liberty or of abode are respected overseas? Kasi sumailalim na nga sila sa ibang bansa, sa batas ng ibang bansa. Maipagtatanggol ba natin sila? Natatakot na sila
The safeguards were passed by no other than the distinguished members of the Congress, Madam, since 1995 with the Overseas Migrant Workers Act, and then now complemented by RA 11641, which created the DMW. The DMW has its action fund for OFWs, and we have our own assistance to national funds for foreign-based Filipinos who are not OFWs.
Ilan pa ba ang nakakulong sa ibang bansa?
Ma'am, by our count, and our lawyers are handling these cases, around 1,198 by our count, and these are active cases handled by our lawyers.
Yes, at pinipilit ko nga ako personally na yung service of sentence gawin reciprocal na dito na lang sa Pilipinas. Pero hindi pa nagagawa yan. So, alam natin na kapag Pilipino na parusahan sa abroad o kahit papano naipit sa gera nung panahon ng yung truck driver sa Iraq-Iran, naalala ko, talagang pinagpilitan natin na mag-ipon ng blood money, pagkatapos nakipagkalas pa tayo sa Alliance of the Willing para makuha yung isang truck driver. So talaga lahat ng effort, kahit na-convict na, kahit kriminal na nga ang tukoy, pinipilit pa rin natin iuwi. Kaya ngayon, natatakot sila, yung dating Pangulo na matanda at may sakit, bakit tinangay sa ibang bansa? Takot na sila. Anong masasabi natin?
Ma'am, what we have po are mechanisms in which to defend our OFWs, more particularly with the DMW. Once they are faced with cases overseas in the host countries, nandun po ang legal retainers natin, ang lawyers natin on hand. Kung sila'y inaresto, pupuntahan sa police station, as what happened in the case of the Qatar 17. Based on the directive of the President, magkaroon ng jail visits. So nangyari po ng jail visits doon, and welfare assistance, and of course yung immediate release na na-secure sa kanila.
Okay, so yung 1,198, maiuwi ba natin sila?
Ma'am, meron pong kanya-kanyang process, as mentioned by Yusek Ed, in the host countries. Meron ho, as far as I know, Soj is here, meron pong service of sentence agreements usually. As far as I know, the most recent one agreed was the UAE. We were there with the Soj who signed it.
Konti pa lang, nasa 27 pa lang yata, napakadaming bansa.
Would not have first-hand information as to how many, but definitely meron tayo mga bansa na
I just
meron ng
sponsored
mga
the last
agreements.
one with Canada po.
Opo. There are some countries who voluntarily send sentenced persons home. The most recent one is Kuwait. But yes, generally it requires an agreement, ma'am.
Secretary Manalo, please, mauuwi ba natin sila?
We will try as much as we can, pero depende rin sa nature of their crime. But for sure, they will be given adequate legal help. Tsaka kung pwede, we will try our best to bring them home. Sometimes we have an unexpected result, like yung nangyari sa Indonesia kay Mary Jane Veloso. They decided just to send her back. So it's really case by case, pero just ang policy natin is whenever we can, we'll do our best to try and bring them home or at least lessen their sentence. Depende sa nature of the crime or the...
So nasa policy ba ninyo na iuwi rin natin si former President Duterte?
Well, it's
Yes, sa general rule, inuuwi natin lahat ng Pilipino, di ba? Talagang kung ano-anong ginagawa natin, nakikisuyo, naninikluhod, nag-aambag-ambag para makapag-ipon ng pera, lahat na ginawa natin para maiuwi. Ito tinangay sa labas. Iuwi ba natin?
Subscribe to One India channel and never miss an update.